All right, let's dive in. Have you ever thought about how the digital worlds we get lost in, I'm talking about video games, might actually tell us something profound about the mapping system tucked away inside our own heads? It's a wild connection, and that's exactly what we're exploring today. So let's start with this paradox, right? Think about any open world game. The big selling point is freedom. Go anywhere, do anything. But you can't, can you? There's always a wall, an invisible barrier, a reason you can't just walk off the edge of the map. What's up with that? And this right here just nails that contradiction. I mean, look at this. On one hand, you've got the huge, sweeping world of The Witcher 3. It feels like it goes on forever. But then you have something like Mafia 2, where your character, this tough guy, gets completely stopped by a flimsy wooden fence, a fence he could literally just step over. So yeah, what is going on? Well, the answer is pretty fascinating. It's not a bug, it's not lazy design. Believe it or not, those walls are put there on purpose. They're like architectural features, carefully designed to shape how you play, to guide you, and honestly, to make the whole experience way more compelling. Yeah, game designers have a whole bag of tricks for this, and it basically boils down to three main types. First, you've got your obvious physical boundaries, stuff you can see. Then there are the non-physical ones, the infamous invisible walls. And finally, my personal favorite, the really creative, interactive boundaries. Let's break them down. Okay, so physical boundaries, like this fence, they work so well because they're just obvious, right? They're straightforward. We see a wall, a cliff, a locked door, and our brains just get it. No explanation needed. We immediately understand the rule. Okay, can't go here. It's simple, it's clean, and it keeps us where the action is. Now, invisible walls, yeah, these are a bit more controversial. It's that frustrating moment when you're just walking along and bonk, you hit nothing. It can totally break the immersion, right? I mean, it feels artificial because, well, it is. But to be fair to the designers, sometimes it's just the easiest way to close off an area without having to build a giant mountain range. But this is where things get really, really clever. The interactive boundaries. Take Grand Theft Auto V. You can steal a boat and head out to sea. There's no invisible wall waiting for you. But if you go too far, your engine mysteriously stalls. And if you decide to swim for it, hello, shark. See? The boundary isn't a wall, it's a story. It's a consequence built right into the world. So, at the end of the day, all of these boundaries, whether they're made of wood, code, or shark teeth, are there for a reason. And it's all about psychology. They give the world structure. They can make you feel safe, or they can ramp up the tension by boxing you in. It's this perfect dance between freedom and limitation that makes a game world feel, not just big, but actually meaningful. Okay, so we've seen how designers build these convincing but contained worlds. But what if you take that idea and just blow it up to a global scale? I mean, what if you tried to build not just a city, but a perfect one-to-one digital copy of the entire planet? There's actually a name for this concept, a mirror world. Think of it like the ultimate map, a digital twin of Earth, so incredibly detailed you could layer things like augmented reality right on top of it. It sounds like sci-fi, but believe it or not, we kind of already have one. And that would be Microsoft Flight Simulator. The ambition here is just staggering. It uses real-world map data and AI to generate the entire globe. But the reality? Well, the reality gets weird. The algorithm isn't perfect, so you end up with these hilarious, surreal glitches, like roads that run along the bottom of the ocean or impossibly tall, skinny buildings. And it's funny, because as one person put it, the best parts of this almost perfect world are actually its mistakes. These glitches, these bizarre failures, they remind us just how mind-bogglingly complex our real world is, and how far we still have to go to truly map it. It's that classic gap between the map and the actual territory. All of which brings us to the most powerful mapping technology in the known universe. And no, I'm not talking about satellites or AI. I'm talking about the one that's been evolving for millions of years, right inside your head. Yeah, neuroscientists have a term for it, a cognitive map. And it's so much more than just remembering left, right, then another left. It's a rich, flexible mental model of a place. Think about your neighborhood. You don't just know one route to the store, right? You can imagine shortcuts, you can plan new paths. That's your cognitive map at work. And the way it works is just incredible. The whole operation is run out of a part of your brain called the hippocampus. In there, you have place cells. These are neurons that literally act like pins on a map. A specific cell fires only when you're in a specific spot. Then you have grid cells, which, this is wild. They lay down a coordinate system. They fire in this perfect hexagonal grid pattern, letting your brain measure distance and direction. It is literally a GPS made of brain cells. Okay, but here's the kicker. This is where it goes from wow to no way. Your brain didn't just stop at using this amazing GPS for physical space. No, it turns out we use that exact same system, that GPS for navigating cities and forests, to navigate worlds that are completely abstract. This is just so cool. Your brain uses that same map-making hardware to understand things that you can't even see or touch. It maps out your social world, who's on top, who's an ally, who's an outsider. It even maps out ideas, how one concept relates to another. I mean, think about the way we talk. We talk about a social circle or being close to a political position. That's not a coincidence. Your brain is literally plotting these abstract things onto a map. So when you think about it, we've come full circle. From the artificial walls in a video game to the weird glitches of a planet-sized map, we see how hard it is to represent reality. And yet, our brains have been doing it effortlessly this whole time, creating these incredible, complex maps, not just of the streets we walk down, but of our friendships, our beliefs, the very ideas in our heads. Which kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Right now, at this very moment, what map are you using?